There's a funny incident where I got caught in a tripartite relationship of two ladies and myself. And there was one who was a very good friend who had a conversation with me about a very, very, very confidential issue. And everyone who knows me knows that I would not under any circumstances share information that you've ever given me. So I'd call them Lady A and Lady C, and I was B. So I believe that Lady A and Lady C were also friends. And I think at a stage, it was about Lady A and Lady C who had shared information among each other. But maybe they must have forgotten. So Lady A shared information with me. And one of the days, Lady C was having a conversation with me and made a reference point. So I gave her advice. Needless to say, long and short of it, Lady C was having a conversation with Lady A and mentioned that I said this. And I think in Lady A's mind, she automatically assumed that I had spoken about her to Lady C. It was a very interesting moment because they both set me up in a conversation. So I had Lady A, Lady C. I got called and they said, okay, let's get together for lunch. And then when I got there, that I got a barrage of this person versus this person. It was my first foray into the concept of confidence. And I was reflecting on that recently. That what are some of the things that trigger that whole concept of confidence? Sometimes it has to cost you to be able to become a confident person. So I met with Lady A and C, and when everything was going on. Up until that moment, I've been a very typical non-speak-up type all my life. And people who know me know I'm very averagely, you can say anything about me, you can accuse me for anything, and I'll never speak up. I mean, I'll just say, okay, I'm sorry, or I try even to avoid you. And sometimes I try not to say anything at all. Sometimes I burst into tears. And I think I became the used one, either in relationships or in other ways where I never spoke up. So at this stage, I realized that I had to, it's more of one of those just do it moment. It had to hit me to decide that even if it's going to cost me this relationship or cost me the future of my thoughts, I'm not going to sit down, but this time speak up. So I had to choose between the sit down method or the speak up method. Of course, throughout my life, I had worked out how to sit down all along. But I never thought that speaking up would make a difference. And that day, I spoke up. And it was like a rule in my system, but the structure of my system. The rule is never speak up in these situations. And it had drained my confidence to the lowest. And it's like, you should never speak up. And at this stage, I just went on and I said, okay, I have never had a conversation with Lady C about you, Lady A. You can choose to believe me or not, but this battle is not between myself, yourself. I went on and did my spiel. I remember so vividly what a burden lifter that speak up was. I always thought there was no way my voice could ever come out. But it was my first dose. And that day I knew it had cost me a relationship or relationships, but it had gained me confidence. And that was my journey towards learning how to speak up. All you need to do is first speak up in a smaller situation. Speak up in the next level. Speak up again, and by the time you realize, as you go up eliminates from the picture, and you begin to speak. By the time I finished with them, I found out that party A knew without a shadow of a doubt, based on what I said and based on the body language on C, that I never said anything to C. But if I had never spoken up, she would never have known, and she would have considered C to be right. Sometimes when you speak up, it can change an environment. When it comes to cost, there are three things when you're thinking of cost and confidence. First, your environment. Second, your experiment. And three, your delivery or your execution. And I say that I bring it in the context of work these days every day, because I realized that when I spoke up, it changed the environment. My speaking up was an experiment, which was a prototype, which forever changed my life. And my ability to execute confirmed a relationship to be the most confidential. So sometimes it will cost you or look like it will cost you. But remember, your confidence can change an environment, can be the best experiment of your life, and can execute to your highest delivery.